I'm taking her on.
She does. I get it. No, she is.
She's calculating.
I would
She's
say,
gangsta.
but I can't take the photo.
Okay, time out.
Let's take a photo of us arguing about Game of Thrones.
Let's take his photo real quick, and then we have no obligations.
Whose house is she from?
All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucks laughing at. We partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right. Welcome to the 190th episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. That's crazy to say. Yes, this is our Javon Curse episode. Do you remember the Freak?
The Freak.
Do you remember when he came in and took over the league?
Yeah, we was afraid of him, man.
Power,
yeah.
speed. I don't know how I analogize that to what we do, but I feel like we're powerful and we came up quick.
That power.
And I had that injury that he had, except for I died, but we came back. We were still really good.
Yeah, wasn't he in Philly?
He was in Philly. He was a Titan.
New York?
Philly and the Titans, all I remember.
The Titans. I know Philly and the Titans. Maybe
remember the Titans? Officer? Yeah, so this is our Javon Curse episode. I was going to say Ndamukong Suh. I feel like the last 90 I did Ndamukong Suh because we talk a lot of shit. We offend a lot of people. We do random shit like step on your head when you're on the ground. But then we get that max contract. Listen, I'm half of your host of Tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspot. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play,
Googleable,
and Spotify under Drinking Partners.
We Dalmatians.
You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnerSpot. 190 episodes.
That shit's crazy.
Ooh, we've been asking y'all, man, and we will continue to ask you, man. Please hop on iTunes, rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well. And that's how we continue to do well, man. So please hop on iTunes, rate and review.
And that's how you know it's episode 2 or 2 because he was
struggling.
He was struggling.
Ed liked to try to throw me off my game a little bit.
I ain't do nothing.
He liked to throw the little hurdles in there.
Everybody who's been listening to the podcast, it was like, he going through it. He hurting right now. It's episode 2 or 2. But listen, 189 times, this will be the 190th time we say this.
Yeah.
And we will continue to say this while we do this shit. Like in lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots of Hennessy. Shots of Eddie. Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend. Shout out to everybody who's ever supported us, who continues to support us. We have the most supportive fan base. Like it's crazy. Like people walk around with Hennessy on deck for us.
Fucking
and
crazy.
We appreciate it. You know what I mean? And we reward you by giving you free beer at our shows. But that's irrelevant.
And 190 episodes, not one of these motherfuckers did you pay for.
Not one.
Not a goddamn.
Yeah, and shit, this episode 2 or 2. So I say that because we need to apologize for anything crazy we say because I don't know where this shit's going.
So Black Forge was in here?
Yeah, we had the family episode prior to.
Black Forge was in here. We were drinking Drinking Partners Coffee Porter. If you listen to this, that's going to be down there at Full Pint Wildside and
that DPCP.
At
DPCP.
And at our guest spot here. I mean, we'll get to that, but on top of that, Mindful Brewing dropped off a nice 4-pack. So shout out to them for keeping us
continue to be supportive.
Lubricated. Yeah, I mean,
pause that. But yes, I just gotta put it's just certain words. No matter what context, they just lubricate. Gotta be paused.
Yeah, shout out to Mindful. For
meat
keeping us
has
tight.
to be paused. I know we're gonna say meat on this episode, and I'm gonna have to pause it. So preemptively, I apologize, but I have to. That when I hear that 4-letter word, I have to throw a 5-letter word after that. It's got to be paused.
The truth, and we're gonna get into this episode. Shout out to First Night downtown. If you know,
it's a terrible ass endorsement. Listen, can we just record this afterward? We don't want First Night to hear this. Shout outs to them. It's just happening.
Go to First Night. Dave Bracey, Drinking Partners.
Let's title this episode "Go to First Night." Like that's gonna be the title.
That's it
of this episode.
If I gotta sell it any more than that, then you're probably not even gonna come. I mean, if you want to be downtown, it's gonna happen. If not, it ain't what it is. So.
Listen, look, if you've been there, it sells itself. So you get there, you have a good time, much like our guest today. You go there, you're hooked. So like once you get and see that comedy, you're hooked. Once you get down to this kitchen, you'll be hooked. I am so jealous because wifey went down there without me. And so that, you don't want, when you get a new restaurant, that's got to be a couple thing. Like you can't be trying new restaurants without your significant other.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of disrespectful.
Well, I do a lot of traveling. I mean, so like I might take like
Don't put yourself out there.
No, I'll take a little.
Don't put yourself out there, bro.
It's different. It's
Because she
different.
might not know that you're trying these restaurants.
No, my fiance is a vegetarian, so we got
Okay,
a whole
well, she
different.
fucked her own shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
she
she
don't
know,
count.
like so that's the thing. But it was dope because when she came down there, she also had dishes that she could rock with. You know what I mean, so it was a nice. It's rare that we get a spot that we could both go to and have a good fucking experience. So that was dope as hell.
Yeah, so we're excited about this. You know what I mean? You see Dave's posts consistently. It seems like he eats her once a week. Shit, this is dope as hell. We got Joel and Chris from Walters in Lawrenceville in the building to say what up to the people.
It was good.
What up?
Oh, he practiced that. It was good. He had to throw the little, you know what I mean? I ain't from here. Just let you know I got the accent.
Came with the blue. came with the blue cat.
All day, every day, baby.
Brooklyn, you know what I mean?
Wine.
Brooklyn,
BK in the house.
Brooklyn in the building, you know what I
Always
mean?
BK stand up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy about the Yankee cap? It's got to have the curved brim to me. Like, we've all gone to flat brims now, but with the Yankee joint, it's got to have a curve. I
That's
don't know
the OG. That's the OG.
I only seen Uncasa is the only dude from New York I ever seen with a flat brim. Like,
Fat Joe used to rock it back in the day in the videos.
Fat Joe's got his beard has been on fleek lately, and I'm like, did you get implants? I'm sorry, we just okay. So we all obviously get along because we just went off on a tangent early.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, Norlex has been he's a good brother, you know what I mean, close friend of the show or whatever, you know what I mean, so straight out of BK, so those roots go back. I mean, what
first night?
Yeah, he's gonna be at first night. But what brings y'all to Pittsburgh? Like,
Yo, first and foremost, thanks for having us. You know what I mean? Like, it's big for us. We just got here. He's been here for a year. I got here July 31st. It's good, man. This is a good thing going on right here. I love that you guys are doing what you're doing. Love to see young brothers making moves. This is good for us.
appreciate that, man.
So why Pittsburgh?
Why not Pittsburgh?
Hey, there you go.
I mean,
Okay.
we traveled a lot. We looked at a lot of cities. We opened our first spot in Brooklyn. We went from Brooklyn to Atlanta to D.C., Boston, Philadelphia,
Miami.
all over. And we came to Pittsburgh and we're like, boom. Pittsburgh's amazing, man. It's beautiful. I had no idea it was such a beautiful city when we came. It was like, people were cool.
Do you look up?
Huh?
Do you look up when you're here? Like at
He's
the
saying
building?
Talking about the
that
sky,
thin
the
film
gray.
of smog that's always there.
Yeah.
like there's a smokestack.
Now,
everywhere.
for us coming from New York, where real estate is the premium, right? Like to find a lot that has 22,000 square feet for the amount of money they were offering, we're like, yo, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had to hustle to do for a year, kept going back. He's like, no. We finally got him again, and we got him in a corner. Chris and I both hit him with the boom bots, right? And he was like, all right, let's do it. It's like, all right, let's do it. So that's how we found Pittsburgh, man. The other markets we were late to the other markets. Atlanta, we really liked Atlanta, but we got there about a year or two late. DC was expensive like New York. Philly was expensive like New York. Our realtor's like, hey, man, come, check out Pittsburgh. We don't have any ties here. We didn't know the city at all.
Right.
So we just started coming back and forth for about 2 years. And we're like, yeah, the spaces are cool, but we didn't find the home run space. And then we asked our realtor, is this space available on 4501 Butler? It's like, it's not available. It's, an Automart. He's been there for 20-some years. And so we're like, all right, well, let's talk to him then. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's always you know what they say, there's always a price, right? Everyone's always, you can always make a decision and make a move if the price is right. So that's how we kind of, and then like Chris said, everything about it made sense. The neighborhood made sense. The price points that you guys offer in the city made sense. The price per square foot made a lot of sense, so it's a kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think there's, in my opinion, being a transplant as well, there's been a void on Southern Consuit Southern cuisine here. Like, there's been a super void. I've seen.
So people don't season the fucking meat around here.
I knew he was. I knew
I
that
don't
was
know.
going to come. There's certain phrases that I know will be uttered at some point. I knew he was going to say that.
It's just they rely on dipping sauces.
Yeah, and I want to put this. I want to put this out there right now, just so everybody knows. Yeah, we're black owned, and I'm not going to say white boy. He's not a kid anymore. But Chris Morgan is the motherfucking bee's knees with the seasoning. In Brooklyn, like I told you earlier, he does a fried chicken that's off the chain. And we used to have a bunch of older black women. And I think the most critical people, no disrespect to my sisters, are the black women over 50.
Oh, without question.
Right? I mean, they got their recipes. Right. They got everything. They got everything. They know what they're doing. And it's usually 100%. They keep it 100, right? They came in and they was like, oh, black owned, Morgan's Barbecue. Joel, come here, let me talk to you, man. Whose recipe is your grandmother's, your mom's? It's like, let me tell you something. You see that dude over there, the crazy dude with the beard walking around? That's his. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, yo, 100%. Brought him over here to the table. The sisters were like, yo, this is your recipe? And he just started going in like, what he does? They're like, oh, baby, this is the best fried chicken I ever had. Facts.
So
That's him,
where are you from?
I grew up on the border of Louisiana in southeast Texas,
Makes sense.
outside of Houston.
He said he got a black cousin. I'm still waiting to see the black cousin.
I don't know. I'm impressed. I don't know that I've gotten a unanimous compliment from a group of middle-aged black women yet. That's bigger than an Emmy, bro. Like, that's you stamped. Like,
Facts.
God damn. Off the chicken, like
Fried chicken. Right.
Fried chicken, bruh. Like, I had this shit. I put it on my page, like, endorsed. I don't endorse a lot of chicken.
I'm scared of this chicken.
I don't know. I grew up with fried chicken as well. I mean, everyone loves fried chicken.
Yeah, everybody does.
Loves
Who
chicken.
doesn't? Who doesn't fried chicken?
But no. But the thing is that this area, it's weird, like, because it's not. So what you do is you pay double for like less with even less quality, right? Like, I was in a fucking, I was going from Lafayette to Atlanta, and we stopped in Mississippi at a fucking gas station that looked like a Sheetz. And I was like, man, I don't want to get fucking barbecue from a gas station. And this old black lady that had no fucking front teeth came out and was like, what you want, baby? And I was like, I want, yeah, exactly. I want
whatever you cook.
Whatever's here, I want that shit. And it was like, it was 2 meals to go. And it was the fucking best barbecue, like one of the best barbecues I've ever had in my motherfucking life. Like, yes, but like once you hit that fucking Mason Dixon over here in this like little like this Western, it's hard to come. Don't like. I mean, not like there's a few.
Didn't say anything.
there's a few good restaurants around here. I mean, not to say that. But it's hard to find like a nice.
You did bring up a good point, though. Now, I never thought about it because there are no gas stations here that I would eat at. And even back home, like from Cleveland, there's a couple gas stations where you get food regularly. You know
we ate at a gas station doing our barbecue tours. It was it was crazy. What's it called? The spot?
Checkmart. Between Austin and Dallas.
Kalachi Bananas. Kalachi's.
Yeah.
Anyway, on a barbecue tour. Anyway.
But I wonder, though, because Cleveland, we have a deep Southern influence on, like, when you get food, you get it there. Like, I'm saying, like, Pittsburgh, it don't seem like that, but we're not far. I wonder why it is that. And then when you were looking at this market, was that something that was told to you, like, hey, that niche right there, it'll pop here because they're hungry for it.
What we do when we check out a new market is we first and foremost, we have food for you guys to eat.
Yeah, we excited.
You know what I mean? Like, crack that, man. So you guys can.
Is that chicken there?
No fried chicken, man.
So you got to take us on the tour. I don't know
okay.
Your chicken sound like sunshine.
Baby, I ain't coming home.
That'll be some mean pussy to make a nigga change guards.
Facts. He's good at that. But yeah, man.
Yeah, like I don't know what's in.
We brought you a couple things. We brought you a couple biscuits first of all to get you started.
We start with the biscuits.
Start with some biscuits.
Yeah,
and then we got you some collard greens. You know,
I ain't about to be worth it.
we got you some potato salad because you got to have potato salad at a barbecue. That goes without saying. We got you sweet.
Somebody here says you got to have green bean casserole. But
Sweet.
I ain't gonna say who.
We got that. We got that. We just ain't bring it out yet. We got a lot of tricks up our sleeve, man. Give us a minute. We just got here. And then we got mac and cheese for you. And then we got the Stella. The star of the evening is going to be the ribs, man. We're just going to rip that, man.
So I feel like biscuits and mac and cheese should be their own food group. Like they should each have their own food group. Like mac and cheese is so important in my life.
I got you a lot of ribs.
It's so fucking important in my life. I like mac and cheese so much I could literally eat that with any meal.
Yo, mac and cheese, like it goes.
I could eat that at any point
because you could put anything
with
in
anything. I could eat mac and cheese
I
and
mean,
pancakes.
it's just bread and cheese. It's a sandwich in a different form. You know what I mean, it's a different texture. You know what I mean, like so.
Those
like,
ribs look like tiles when it
Put
looks so
bacon in them?
beautiful. When I opened it, looked like a great bathroom floor. Like they just look so tasty and neat and just what the fuck? I'm sorry. A lot of shit's happening. We've never had food on the podcast. A lot of shit is happening. He got
I'm
a
not
compliment.
gonna accept that shit. Leonis came through with some fucking fire ass sandwiches.
I don't consider that's a dessert. I don't consider desserts food.
No, them motherfuckers came through.
This
with some
is not a
food.
critique on what they have.
I
It's
get
just
it.
how I classify. it.
Yeah, I got you.
It's not a critique on what the
Shout
only
out.
shit is fire.
It is.
But this is ribs. And
But this
mac
is
and
like
cheese,
we've never
man.
had.
And he got a
meal.
compliment from a table full of middle-aged black women. They complimented him on his chicken. It's always a competition amongst them with chicken. They have friends for 50 years that they've never complimented their chicken. I'm not complimenting your chicken because I got chicken of my own. My chicken should always be at the cookout. My chicken.
That's how I knew he was winning.
I'm sorry. Oh, this biscuit looks amazing.
That biscuit's from brunch, man. It still holds its own. But your boy over here to my right made that biscuit, man. It's got a little bit of sweet. It's fluffy. It's it's everything. That biscuit is everything. No joke. From brunch.
So
Still holding it down.
Chris, tell us about this biscuit and like what you did. This is alchemy. You know what I mean, like, because I can't do that.
This is happening.
I can't put like
in
the
my
science
mouth right
into
now.
it.
Pause.
Pause.
I paused it, but I appreciate you being on top of things.
I don't even know. I mean, it's a biscuit. It's easy. You know what I mean? It's
No, it's not.
Mix a
Nah,
few.
man.
Not everybody can land a biscuit.
You mix some shit together, and you put it in the oven, and it bakes. And it's
No. He's
Even the way
lying.
it
He's
looks.
lying. He's lying, bro. He's been training people for 6 years, and they still can't get it right, man. He whipped that thing up and like he makes it happen, man. Stop being humble, man.
You know what I mean? Like, we all.
Oh, he got the gift. He don't want.
He got the gift, bro. He's been touched, bro. He's been touched.
Nah,
He's super palate.
you had a little butter.
The butter's important,
Yeah.
and it's got to be buttery, but not necessarily. I like the,
It's
the
airy.
texture of it.
It's airy.
Oh,
It's got some sweet. It's filling.
that's a good ass biscuit, bro.
Yeah, man.
It's a good beer biscuit.
Yo, I'm talking about that biscuit was made at noon, bro.
Yeah, that was actually ready at 10:30.
Yeah, that biscuit.
You know, now that I'm listening to what you're saying, you know what? This has been out for, you know, because normally you got to get the biscuit right out the Joan, got it with the warmth, but nope. I could sit this on the stove and wake up after a long ass nap and eat this biscuit. I gotta pause that. I don't know if eat this biscuit is pausable, but eat this motherfucking biscuit.
Yeah, that's a nice pairing though.
Oh, with the
Little
brew.
IPA.
What are you drinking? Because I got the Peachy Keen from Mindful. Shout out to Mindful sponsoring the
It's
cast.
this Oscar. It's,
Oh, you got the Oscar?
Yeah, it's a 7% IPA, man. That shit is dope as hell. You throw that in there, swish it around with the biscuit, man. That butter, you know what I mean, on top of that.
Perfect.
Have you all approached any beer pairings with the menu at all?
Nah, I
anywhere?
think the only relationship we're trying to create relationships with the breweries, man. Shout out to Hitchhiker, man. That dude Gary he's been very, very helpful with everything we've done so far,
yo,
man.
We
Gary's cool as
just
hell.
did a
Very supportive.
crazy ass show over there the other night. Like they like built the stage with the kegs and shit, with the lighting. Like the crowd was insane. Like they they really make a way, for the arts and like the community or whatever. They like the. It's a nice networking hub. You know what I mean,
Yeah, man.
like a
Cool
folks.
space.
Mhm.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
Great beer. Yeah, man. Trying to cater his party, man. Trying to get some food over to Gary, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's really been, I told Chris when I met him, he's been the most supportive guy from day one. He's like, anything you need, man, come talk to me. I was like, all right, man. Respect.
I mean, the craft industry here is like that. Very supportive. They always, I like that they focus on food a lot too. Like you go to these breweries, you don't just get beer. Like you'll get good food as well. So they'll rock what you having.
Yeah, I mean, because it's there's always a food truck out there and shit like that. Like, I mean, somebody's, around, and that's dope because it promotes diversity. You can have like a smaller like startup as opposed to like having the big brick and mortar and like, it's kind of like a little like stop holder in the door. Like, I ain't through quite yet. Or some, regard or like, but,
No, I'm texting wifey right now. Walters is the new spot. Off one biscuit. Off one biscuit, y'all.
Do me a favor, take a bite of that rib though, man. Like that's the goods, man. That's the goods. That's Chingon. That's Chingon's ribs, man. Those are real, man.
Man, we about to like knock out and let y'all like.
No, for real. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna continue the podcast with y'all. How am I gonna continue to contribute to this? As I gotta enjoy this food.
So who is Walter?
So Walter's a fictional character, man. Everybody has an Uncle Walter. They might have a pig named Walter. They might have a dog named Walter. It's one of those things like, where's Waldo? Where's Walter, man?
Walt? Yeah, no, I know a few Waltz. Yeah,
I heard my man's podcast earlier. He was like, this is my last 6-syllable word. Walter's light on the syllables, easy to remember. You know what I mean? Like that. That's how we you gotta have you can't be too creative. You don't want to keep it simple, man. And it's a name that you'll never forget. You eat our food, you'll never forget the place. Oh, what's that place? Oh, Walters. Yeah. What's the address?
Yeah.
I gotta remember the address, but the name comes easy.
Yeah.
So that's how we figured that name out.
We
Yeah.
Googleable.
Yeah.
And Walter sound like a dude
Low
who
syllables.
know good food. Like I take food
Dumb it
recommendations from a Walter.
Facts.
Walter sound like he only eat good food.
Southern. He's sitting on a
he
a
does.
rocking chair somewhere.
That motherfucker. If Walt tell you about some shit, he probably know.
You know what I mean?
He don't talk about
I respect
much.
that opinion.
Got a little bit nerdy in him, So he's palates on fleek. He's good. Walter's good.
That's crazy as hell, man. So like, so what is this? What is this in this
These
macaroni
potato?
and cheese?
That's potato salad.
That's
Is that
potato salad, man.
That's potato salad.
Yeah,
Got
man.
Potato salad. They got other seasonings that you don't always get up here.
Yeah, man. It's a mustard base, man. So if you like mustard, man, that's the groove. But I'm still waiting for you guys to bite that rib, man. Like we can't even continue the podcast so they jump into the rib, man. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to fight man. I'm trying to fight the itis right now. Like it's like a strong like.
You got to get into that rib. If we get into that rib, then the whole enlightening process begins, and we can really start talking about food.
Okay. So should we just at the same time we're gonna bite into the rib? We're on 3. Look, and I'm sorry to the people listening, but this is for us. Like this is y'all getting stuff, but this be a day. This is for us. I want that.
Yeah. Wow.
Buzzy will distribute the photographs to validate the silence because y'all should be here on these ribs. Y'all should be here on these ribs.
Wow.
Like this is
Man.
a no sauce rib is so hard to execute.
Oh, like no sauce.
No
You know what I
sauce.
mean? Off rip. You know what I mean? That's what when I got to that bar, listen, and I'm gonna be 100 with you. I ain't know y'all had barbecue sauce until I had already wrote about y'all. And I came back and they were like, I saw like I was at the table or whatever in the lawn, and the lawn is fucking beautiful.
I wish
right?
y'all could see Buzzy right now.
The lawn is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And we're sitting at the table or whatever, and I love it because it's a communal atmosphere, right? You know what I mean? Because you're sitting at the table and like some dudes like sat next to us or whatever, and we just had a conversation, and like they were pouring like the sauce, or it was like, oh, they they got barbecue sauce? Like, like I said, I'd been eating it off rip, just like it was excited about that. And then when I put the barbecue sauce on, it was like, ugh. And then then I got the chicken and waffles, right? And then I dipped it in the syrup. What the fuck is in that syrup?
That's that Southeast Louisiana syrup, bro.
Like that's like even the syrup ain't just like, yeah, like I'm a big fan of syrup. I like a nice maple, like a real maple. I don't like to do the fucking high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah,
You know
no
what I mean?
good,
I like a nice maple type. You know what I mean? But like I feel like it's like a little like heat or spice to it or some shit like that.
Think about it, man. We talking about Southeast Louisiana to Brooklyn, man. There's a lot of places you pass on the way to figure out the best product to put out to the people, man.
Can I stress how difficult a no sauce rib is to execute?
Not
So many people get it wrong.
not for us.
It's got the pepper. Oh my goodness!
What are you doing?
Man, we just slow smoke it, man. Low and slow.
Don't skip steps, man.
We don't skip steps.
Yeah, put the work in.
Don't skip steps, man. That's
You
when you
don't
look at
think
our
so?
eyes. All of our everybody who works for us, our eyes are red, man. Chris is red, mine are red. It's just we believe in what we do, man. And you know when we hear people like my man D came and said what he said about the fried chicken, man. That's what we work for. We don't work for the dollars and cents, man. We work for the people, man, to make sure that people understand if you understand what we're doing, because we put the time and effort into what we're doing, you understand it. And the best thing for us, right? We just look at the table, and the table gives you that head nod, not looking at us, but like they try it and like the head nod.
Yeah,
that makes me feel. It's like you go to the barber on a Friday night and he shows you the back to you, like, oh, the taper is fly. Like that's how I feel, man. I feel
And
good.
you know his, because the barber mirrors, they be skewed towards the cut. You just trust, like, no, what I saw is what it is.
That's it.
Because the barber mirrors be real. You ever go to the barber mirror and sit and look, and then you get home like, wait a minute.
Home like, yeah, like
did this patch
the
come
funny
from?
mirror on.
Once you wash it, it's changed. You know what I mean?
Like, what's in that sheen that they put on my shit?
You want the spray? I want the spray. I want the spray.
Totally different.
See, no, barbers had the original angles.
Yes.
Way before IG, the barbers knew the angles.
They had all the filters, all that.
100%. There was no filter at the shop, but they filtered it.
They filtered that
They
mug.
filtered it.
So-
yeah, that's what we do, man. We love to see the reaction from the people who are trying our food for the first time, man.
So now, how has that affected you as patrons? Like when you go to it. So now you guys, I mean, I've only tasted now the biscuit and the ribs, and I'm confident that everything else on this table is fire. All right. So how do you, knowing that you have this, you got this in the tuck, you do this all the time. How is it when you go out? Because like for me, for example, with comedy, so I get on stage, I work room. So if I just go to enjoy a show, I'm out here critiquing like who's in the room, what type of room is it, what type of humor should you be doing? Should you be doing crowd work? Should you stay away from political topics, etc.? And so now when I watch a comedian, I'm like, he should have done this better, he should have done that better, or he could have gone this way with that joke, he could have done that. So when you go to enjoy food, is it like that? Is it owning a restaurant with quality food, has that taken away from your experience when you just go to restaurants around?
So I'm going to give you my point of view, and then obviously,
And I'm gonna get another rib.
My chef over here is going to give you another one. But for me, man, you know, we go because we know the hustle is real. So we go and we try to support, number one, right? Because if you own your own spot, you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that. So we support, number one. And then we go to grow, man. Like for real, keeping it 100, we're growing. If they've got something that's crazy, the kale salad or the whatever they're doing which is banana, we're like, oh man, okay, we got to step our game up, right? We love to go to a place and they got to put us on our P's and Q's. Like, okay, we got to get better. We're not good enough. We got to get better. So that's why we go to Texas every year. Spend about 2 weeks in Texas, and you know, checking out the local spots, like you said, the gas station spots, like the mom and pop spots, and the highly anticipated, the highly accoladed spots. And we're like, you know what? You know, we got to pick our game up, dude. Like we're behind the times right now. You know, it's 2018. We got to keep up. So for us, it's growth, man. That's from my side. And I'll let Chris tell you what he thinks when he goes into a restaurant.
Christians look like he can enjoy every restaurant because he knows his shit better. I set the bar low over here because I know how my menu tastes.
Yeah, I'm my worst critic. So when I go out, I don't go to judge. I know how hard it is. I mean, restaurants, like every day, there's a day that goes by that I don't think, man, I should have stayed in school. You know, there's got to be an easier life than
I'm happy
working
you
24 hours a day. I mean, restaurants are 24 hours a day business. I mean, it's you know.
Yeah, just to cut him off for real quick, so that we going back to the fried chicken story, and I'll let him finish. But the fried chicken that the sisters had, he didn't want to serve it. He bounced for the day, and I was like, "Oh, fried chicken's on the menu today." I was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, fried chicken's on the menu. We got the recipe. Let's sell it." He wasn't even there because he was never going to put it out. It's like the mad scientist.
I was
bro.
in Texas. I was like, it's not ready. It's not ready.
It's not ready. I was like, "Yo, it's ready today."
But you know, I know how hard it is. I don't know. I can't judge, man. It's, you know, it's tough. I do go to learn. I absolutely go to learn, and I go when I see something I like. I know I like it, and I'll try to, like, you know, play with it and learn from it. But
Yeah.
man, I'm never there to judge.
Yeah. So, how did you two meet? Like, I mean, what you talking about? Like Brooklyn and like right outside of like when you say right outside of Louisiana, is that like not Louisiana?
I don't know the map.
Like, wait,
That's a whole nother state. If you're outside of a state, you're in another state. All right.
So
The thing is, I don't know what states surround Louisiana either.
Am I misremembering that? Then you were like, hey, I'm outside of Louisiana. I was like, that's like maybe
That's a
4
city
states.
we don't know about. He in the Gulf.
All right, so
That's like a third of America. Like,
I owned a boat at 14, and what separated me from Louisiana, where my family's from, is a lake, Sabine Lake, and you know, you can get in a boat and travel across the lake, and I'm in Louisiana eating gumbo. So, I mean, I grew up right on the boat.
We haven't drilled down on exactly where you're from.
Sorry, Port Arthur.
Port Arthur. Oh, Port Arthur, Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, UGK.
Yeah.
What? All right. So yeah, that's crazy. So you from? Oh, that's what's up. Now I'm like even more. Wow, that's crazy. That's like, listen, man. That's 360. It came full circle, man. Like Bun B, fucking Pimp
Triller
C.
was such an underrated album. Triller was a great album. Even
Bun
the
B,
intro.
Pimp C. You from Port Arthur, Texas? No, wait, no, that's Port Arthur, Texas.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
from Port Arthur, Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. Oh shit, that's crazy.
So you see where the flavors come from. man.
I can almost taste the Bun B in this pause. Bun B, I'm a man amongst men.
He can get
His white gold.
He can get
is
dirty, man. He
toasted.
gets dirty. He gets dirty with the cuisine. He gets dirty with it.
No, I mean, and it's funny. I just recently took my first voyage to New Orleans, so in Louisiana, and my
That's what I
takeaway,
like to see right there.
the
Going back,
takeaway
going back.
was the food. Like it. How competitive is it? I mean, because like so for example, I'm hitting up my New Orleans connects. Like, where should I eat? And it's all mom and pop spots. There's no go to this restaurant. It's like go to this spot. Go to this bench, and they gonna bring you some good ass food. Like, how competitive is it there? And then like you killing the game out, like just with 2 tastes. I'm like, you killing the game out here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up in Louisiana. However, I mean, I grew up near Louisiana with my family's from Louisiana, but when I think of Louisiana cuisine, I don't think like New Orleans. That's the city. You think of like Rain, Lafayette, Crowley, Scott.
get better
all these
outside of
small, all the small towns, man. That's where the food is.
Ooh. So it gets so you got to go to New Orleans and you got to dip off to like a little section outside to get the
Scott, Louisiana, the boudin capital of the world.
I mean, tell them how you greet people in
It's-
New
it's-
Orleans.
yo,
They're down there, hey baby, everything's baby.
Baby.
The service
yeah.
is so much better down
Yeah.
there. It's like, I almost like part of me was like, am I being hustled by this word for better? But she was just genuine. She remembered us from the day before. Like the service was better. Like it was.
It's soul, man. It's
Yep.
soulful down there.
You get out of there. You go to the airport. It's baby. You rent your car to drive home. It's baby. Everywhere you go, it's baby.
It's baby. It's big.
Exactly.
Except for my Uber driver who talked too much. The one that took me from the airport, she started talking about gentrification. I'm like, nah, I want to enjoy this. Don't fuck this up for me.
So, yeah. So, two things. One, who the fuck taught you how to cook? And two, how did y'all meet? Because I mean, again, you come from Port Arthur, and you out of Brooklyn, and like you're making. So, who taught you how to make this shit?
So
man?
I'll answer the first part of that. Obviously, it has to do with me, but so my grandmother.
They both have to do with you.
Well, Joel can explain how we met. He can explain how we met. But yeah, my grandmother and my uncle both owned restaurants. And my whole family cooks. I mean, in Texas, women are big, and everyone eats.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Man.
Yo, you better push pause.
Well,
No,
That was a very acceptable
He done
pause.
Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley
hey.
be talking about that. There's some big old girls in San Antonio.
yeah, man. So I grew up in a family that
Women
eats.
are big.
Eats a lot. They eat, and my grandmother was like the anchor for the family, and she was an amazing cook, and she owned a restaurant, and she worked for restaurants, and my uncle did the same thing, and I just grew up cooking. I mean, I don't know. It's just part of your culture.
I thought you told me it was a
mean-
Harlem Nights type story.
Nah, man. Cooking is part of. It's like Southern culture, is knowing how to cook, man, and staying close to your family.
No, yeah. I mean, my family's from down south or whatever. So like that is like it's just it's weird being in a dating world where like men are like, yeah, like women are supposed to be cooking and this and the other. And I'm like, I was just like taught to cook. You know what I mean? Like just as a human. You know what I mean? Like that's just what you did. And it was like mad, like heavy on like the matriarchal side of things. Like, I mean, like the women down south, like keep the motherfucking like family together down there. Like it's and they are in the kitchens and whatnot. I'm like, that's what I learned to cook was just like watch my mom in there, whatever. Like just, I just loved so much what the fuck she was doing that like, I just wanted to know how to do that because I didn't want to have to rely on her to get it. Yeah. She ain't all, cause she was working. She's working all the fucking time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, how do I get this shit when you're not here? So, I'd imagine it's some kind of like, resemblance in your family and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, we all grew up cooking, and it wasn't until I moved to New York that I had to really like knuckle down because all these things that I missed. I was like, how do I make pecan pie? I mean, I don't know. I got to figure this out because I'm not there anymore. I can't go in Houston. I can't go to the Good Company anymore and get pecan pie. Like, how do you make it?
Facts. I've been by his side when he's like, shit, I can't figure this out. I'll be right back. I'm like, where you going, bro? I gotta make a call. First of all, I'm like, why do you leave the room when you're making a call? It's a cell phone, bro. You can stay right here. We can figure this out together. That's the kind of dude he is. Like, I gotta go. So super private with his recipes. Super private. I don't even know who's calling. You know what I mean? Like, who are you calling, bro? Your mom.
Yeah, let's all find this out. Who is this person?
Who is the black lady down south you calling, bro? And what kind of relationship do you have, bro? Why can't we get her to Pittsburgh?
Does she answer this phone directly? Is there a representative who picks up?
What do you call? Right.
Chris is the plug.
Right. And what do you call her when you call her? What's her name?
She got like a red phone where you got to pick up the joint, and it got the old rotary dip where you got to spin the numbers, but it's got the little two hooks, so you slam it.
I've been trying to find her name out for 7 to 10 years, bro.
That was my grandmother.
Remember, I told you earlier, he has a black person in his family, man, a cousin.
We just don't know.
We don't know her name, her address.
Surely, it's a motherfucker should just search.
I don't know if she,
Walter Rhea.
it could be Shirley, or it could she's Southern, so she could have two names like Minnie Lee.
Yeah,
some shit
Minnie
like that.
Lee, yeah.
No, I have to call her now and be like, hey, if you listen to this podcast,
It's out. It's out. We got to come up with a new form of
We gonna
communication.
we gonna need you to just cross the border for a little while.
They coming to get you. They coming to get you. They
Just for a little while. We're gonna put you in a resort. It's
They
gonna
done
be
done
all
a
right.
backward search. They coming to get you. You need to throw this phone away now. Promise. Get rid
I'll
of it.
let you know.
I'll let you know when to call me. I'll send you the
I'll
coordinates.
send someone.
Here's the duffel bag. Don't answer the phone.
Plan B. So how did y'all meet?
So this.
Y'all be up in skirting, man.
So it's a long story, man. We'll keep it as brief as possible. So the girl I was dating at the time, we went to a Yankee game. Go Yankees, bro. Go Yankees all day, every day, right? Keeping it blue. And then we walk up into a bar, and this guy's bartending. He at that point in time in Chris's life, he was really 100% about scotch, right? He was like scotch this guy. He was just and I you know, I'm coming from a certain part of town that we don't even know what scotch is, right? We drink Hennessy or Heineken. So that's what we did. Yeah. And if you're special, you drink Remy, right? That's when your money gets higher. So that's where I'm coming from. And I'm with my girl, and we're just sitting here listening to him. And I'm in the game at that point. I'm in the restaurant game. And I'm like, yo, man, not to be disrespectful, but if I ever get in a position to hire, I'm going to hire you, man, because you're really, I've never met anybody in my life that's so passionate about liquor, right? Mm-hmm. Scotch in particular. And he's like, all right, man, cool. And then so it happens that like 3 or 4 months later, I get a position where I'm at a Japanese restaurant, ironically, that I can actually I was put in a position to hire people. So I went back to the same place with my same girl at the time, and I'm like, yo, Chris. He's like, yeah, what's up, man? I said, listen, man, I got that job. You know, I met you before. You remember me? He's like, yeah, I remember you, man. He's like, yo, you were passionate about scotch. He's like, oh, I still love scotch, but I love bourbon now, too. I was like, all right, man, listen, let's get this thing popping, man. I said, I got a great spot. We're going to make a lot of money. Come on through. He's like, all right, cool. Only it wasn't Chris the second time. It was another friend of ours who's an investor in our project now. His name is Mark, and I was like, yo, I thought it was Chris. So I played with Mark for 3 weeks, talking about like, let's you know, we're gonna make this a great bar. We're gonna do this. And then Mark called. Tell him what Mark did when he called you.
Yeah, Mark called me one night. He says, hey, you know, I have good news and bad news. The good news is I got a job because I got us both fired from another place. I didn't really know him at the time, but
why'd you get fired?
Yeah, I was about to say, like why'd you get fired?
Chris is like, he's a very private individual.
Well, we all.
He's never going to offer the information. He ain't offering none of the information. You gotta ask.
It was man. It was
if you
he's
offer,
gonna take you as far as the conversation
like,
has gone.
Well, I separated. I got fired. I was like, well, shit. Everybody got to get fired.
No, I mean, well,
we can skip
you know,
over
just
that.
to make this brief. It was like it was what was it? It was Christmas Eve. It was snowing outside. Drinking after work. All the managers left. For some reason, we stayed, and then I ended up choking one of our. barbacks out. In the process, broke 8.
He said unconscious. That's what he did. That's what Al means.
See, y'all not in the studio. Like, Chris is very unassuming when you look at him.
No.
But now I'm looking and I'm like,
is
this
not.
motherfucker got all the skill. He could do it.
No.
He can do anything.
That
He done
motherfucker
just
looks
choked
like
him
he
up.
has some kind of hunting gear. Like he
MacGyver,
looks like
son.
at
But
some point he
but
could take
that's
down
not-
a deer.
but
Like at any given time.
Hunting is one thing.
Like,
Shooting,
100%.
Yeah, he
shooting
don't
something
look
from afar is
unassuming,
one
like-
thing. But this motherfucker just choked a dude out.
Yeah, I could see that.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I could see that.
At a
MacGyver, dude.
gathering.
Yeah, I could see that. No.
He doesn't
but-
seem like
yeah,
he
but-
wants to choke people out.
the whole.
I don't think
He
he
does,
wants
he
to.
does.
Here's the thing. I don't think that he wants to. I think that he will.
Oh, he got forced.
I was provoked.
Dude,
I was
put you in that
I was
position.
Yeah,
provoked.
if provoked. Exactly. If
It was
you,
on principle.
I was provoked.
Exactly.
You had to get choked unconscious.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it tomorrow. Like, you wake
Yeah.
up, we good. Because I'm still going to work here. You going to work
Yeah,
here. Like,
we
we
gonna-
know
we good. We gotta-
I had to choke
well,
you out.
the
'cause-
thing we broke a $8,000 table.
Oh, yeah, you got to get choked
we-
out.
we-
Oh, so you broke property.
So
it
we all-
wasn't even a scuffle.
Yeah,
it was
we-
just in the wrong place.
We all got
man.
fired. I got everyone fired.
Yeah,
That
you
was
should have done it like out back, like next to the dumpsters. That's where you just kind of do a little scuffle and then you cool in the morning. Like,
Don't sound like much of a scuffle if he got choked unconscious. That sounds very one-sided.
There was several people.
That sounds
Choose one.
extremely one-sided.
there's a lot of spectators.
And it ends in no movement from one individual. You can't scuffle if you can't move.
Pre-UFC in New York City.
Anyway, so
Barback tapped out.
No, he didn't. He was unconscious. That shit just went limp.
He tried to tap out. Pause.
man, like, so Oh man.
So I got us fired. I got a group of people fired.
You put him in a situation. You're like, listen, there's a method to this madness.
Timing is everything, right?
Yeah.
I met him.
I got a plan.
Right.
So he calls me, like, so flash forward, I don't know how many months it was, but he calls me and he says, hey, I got, good news, bad news. I got a job, because we were both unemployed. Well, no, not employed, but like we go from job to job looking for a good job, making, decent money bartending in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And he's like, but the guy thought I was you and offered me a job and I took it.
Did he get choked out? Motherfucker.
Almost.
No, but I was like,
It's
you
a
better
chokeable offense. Like,
Yeah, I was like, you better give me a fucking job, man. You better give me that. I didn't know if the job was good or not. I was like, I need that job.
So that, and then we go there, and then he finally comes clean. He's like, listen, man, you met Chris, and I'm Mark. I said, well, Mark, I dig you too. You're cool, bro. I got the best of both worlds. So call Chris and let's make this happen. So I hired them both, and that's how we met, man. We worked together at a bar, at a Japanese bar in Tribeca. Right after 9/11, man.
but at this point, though, you hadn't tasted any food.
Wait. Wait.
I was
say that
bartending.
again?
I was just bartending.
No, right after 9/11 in a Japanese bar is when him and I started working together for the first time.
That just doesn't even, because at this point, like I said, he didn't even taste. He hadn't even cooked for him yet.
Yeah.
So this relationship started.
Hell.
Yeah, we didn't know either one of our skill sets. You know what I mean? And we were in New York back then when you just had to make it. New York is a treadmill, bro. You gotta make money, man, quick.
Yeah.
So-
you gotta churn that milk into butter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Or else you're going home. You know what I'm saying? So he was from Texas, and I was like, yo, he's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, he had a whole different type of vibe to him.
Yeah.
Like, to give you a quick story, the first time we talked about some stuff, he had just broke up with his girl. And most dudes I know, like, yo, I broke up with my girl, man. Like, yo, we got to go out. Like, I'm feeling bad. I was like, yo, and that's my friends, right? And I'm like, you broke up with your girl? I was like, yeah, I just broke up with my girl. I said, how you feel, man? Like, I just dodged a bullet. I said, what the? I said, that's gangster, son. That was the most gangster line I heard in 2003.
She almost had you. She moved that rook one space too far to the left, and I got out of that checkmate.
He's an assassin.
Dodged the bullet, man.
No, lady killer. Wow.
So when did the food come into it with you two? Like, how did?
So our initial partnership was just working together. And then he left us in like 2 months after we
You
hired
were
him.
a chef there.
No, he was just
No,
bartending.
this is off
Oh,
the
you were
bartender.
just bartending.
Yeah,
you weren't even.
we met him
You weren't
bartending.
even like whipping up any of that smoke.
He's never in New York City. He's never had to display his culinary expertise.
That's
You know what I
their
mean?
loss.
Like, people just, it went unnoticed, right? So I'm like the dude. I'm like the kid on Christmas. I'm unwrapping a special gift. So for me, like he left in like 3 months. We got back together talking about let's buy some properties in Texas or whatever. And I'm just like, man, my funds are low right now. That dude can't hang with that dude. He's a real hard dude to hang with. My funds are low, so I can't participate in that. And then he's like, all right. So he went and did that. Came back to New York, caught up with other people, and like, listen, man, I got an opportunity, man. I got a great investor. Let's do some stuff. And then, I've got my expertise. He's got his expertise. I knew he could cook. You know what I mean? I knew he had flavor taste. I knew his palate was on fleek. I knew all that about him. So I'm like, listen, we can do a restaurant. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And he was always talking about, let's do barbecue, because we got to figure out the cuisine, right? Thought Mexican, thought Italian, thought a bunch of stuff. He's like, no, we got to do barbecue. I was like, what do you mean barbecue, man? It's like, yo, barbecue. And for me, I'm like, barbecue for me is like in the park. Not even like a park by your house, but like a park, any park. We just pull up with a grill and just like,
Or they got the
there
grill.
it is. You know what I mean?
Or the park
sauce,
has the grill.
right? The park has the grill. You just saucing up whatever, and you keeping it moving. He's like, nah, I'm talking about barbecue. It's like, yo, man, why do you keep saying barbecue? When I say barbecue, you say, nah, not that kind of barbecue. I'm like, what kind of barbecue you talking
For
about?
us, because for us, barbecue is an event.
Below the
Yeah,
Mason
Barbecue
Dixon,
is
man.
an event
Like
for
the-
black people. It's an
Yes.
event. Barbecue's a cuisine, but for us, it's an event.
Food is secondary.
Well,
bro.
no. Not even just black folks. Like Southern like cuisine or whatever. Like it's like you got your like Kentuckys and Tennessees and your North Carolinas and your Texas and your Texas, like all these very like your Kansas, like all of these different areas, like by region even, like the
but we didn't know
barbecue
about
and
that.
all
I didn't know
like,
about that.
Yeah, like so,
You know what
like
I mean?
it's
Growing
not
up, you don't know
just-
about that.
Yeah, it's not just like up north. They don't know about like up here or whatever. Like
Rib
like,
number 2 going down.
like
Number
it's
3. Who's number 3?
it's a very like sauce based reliance up
Yes.
here or whatever, like, and they charge so much more for it, whatever. But like down there, like it competes so much that like people are like, oh, you like barbecue? It's like, what kind of barbecue? Shit, there's even Korean barbecue out.
That's
like,
what I
this
kept
motherfucker.
asking. I'm like,
yeah,
yo,
I
what
mean,
are you
it's
talking
like,
about barbecue? I said, I know barbecue, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, barbecue's cool, but ain't nobody tripping off barbecue like that.
Man,
He's like, yo,
yeah.
come to Texas. I'm like, Texas?
Yeah,
Come to Texas. Come to Texas. Like every take. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Come to Texas. I'm like, all right, man, I'm going to come to Texas. What's happening in Texas? And then I went to Texas, man. And it's good, bad, or indifferent barbecue. It's a different culture, man. It's like Texas barbecue is like, if the worst barbecue in Central Texas, but your grandfather went there, you're going to still go there once a week. Period. Because you're gonna hold him down. He's long gone, but you're going to hold him down because it's my grandfather's thing, right?
but you're also gonna like. I mean, the thing is it's good food though. Like,
No,
that's
no,
the thing.
not
And that's what,
everyone.
like,
Not that's
down there.
That's where everybody makes a mistake, right? There's bad barbecue in Texas, but they're packed because it's not food in Texas. It's culture, right? It's creed. It's everything that you were brought up upon. So you'll go to the worst barbecue place in
Well,
Texas.
so here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm not going to go to the worst barbecue place in Texas because I'm going to only go to like the place that the people that live there
Right.
go to. You see what I'm saying? Like you'll get bad whatever the fuck in any city. Like
Yes.
when you go to Philly, you'll get bad cheesesteaks. And like if you go to fucking like certain spots for whatever, seafood or whatever, like you got the commercial like tourist trap shit. And then you're right, they got the bad shit. But like that's why like when I go to cities, I want to go in and like be like, yo, what is like the motherfuckers that's there eating? You see what I'm saying?
I hear you, but here's the difference in Texas, Central Texas, where we go. It's really bad barbecue, my man.
Really?
Really bad, and everyone in line is from the town. But that's what I'm saying. Texas is unlike any other state when it comes to food because, as I said previously, if your great grandfather and your grandfather and your father go there, you're gonna go there once a week, just off of the strength that that's what they do.
Yeah.
Tradition.
But wouldn't just but if you have such a saturation of a market, right? Even if it is bad barbecue, to a northern palate, it is going to like, yeah, I mean, like that motherfucking whatever spot that they go into or whatever, like if you put that up here, it's gonna taste different
gonna
from
taste different, yes.
than your
Yes.
other commercial, like say barbecue spot
Yes.
here. You see what I'm saying? A southern commercial spot is gonna taste different from a
100%.
northern commercial spot.
So my first trip, he took me to maybe 10 spots.
Yeah.
From the upper echelon to the lowest
To
of the
give
low.
you an understanding. It was an
All-
onboarding process
100%
to the flavor.
onboarding, love it. All equally as busy. Right? Explain that thing,
Yeah.
man. It's different down there, man.
But when he says bad, he's comparing like 20 restaurants to the top 3. The top 3 will blow your mind.
Right.
But like 20th on the list, it's still really good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
I'm not going to throw out a name, but
Don't throw a name out.
A color's attached to it.
Yeah.
You think that's good? That was trash.
Well, I've had worse. But you're comparing like if you're the top 50 barbecue spots in Texas, someone's got to come in 50th.
Right. So, as we just still try to chew. I'm on my third rib. I'm about to fuck these ribs up, though.
Glad you're enjoying those ribs, man.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought them.
TLC, man. We'll keep them coming too, bro. Just ask. We'll get them to you.
So yeah, I mean like what is that syrup? You still ain't I still ain't figured out what that fucking syrup is.
Yeah, you can't.
We can't tell you that.
Can't tell you.
That's like the rub. It's like the rub, my brother.
Did you hear that?
All right. So it
he don't
is-
even know. Like, this dude that
Yeah,
took it all.
yeah. So it is something. I'm not just crazy because it's weird because when you put it on the like, so I ate it very inebriated. When I first had it, I was just so like with the chicken, and I love the balance in the chicken and waffles, right? Because you have like the breasts. and like the breading around it, and like it's crunchy as hell and a little like salt, and like with the waffle underneath and the syrup with the extra added flavor, like with the texture, the way that it soaks it up, it's meant to balance each other out.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, like it's meant to be
Nothing worse
like,
than a soggy waffle, bro.
huh?
You don't want a soggy waffle.
Might
Yeah,
as well just have a pancake.
Facts.
yeah.
Which is also good. It's also good.
Pancakes might be the best in the tri. We're not tri-state anymore.
I love pancakes.
What, best in the valley? What do we say here? What best in the what?
Best in the burg.
Best in no.
Yeah.
That's all they will say
Beyond.
here. Pittsburghers aren't good. They don't give a fuck about
Our pancakes
geography.
don't. Our pancakes don't need syrup, bro.
What?
Nah.
I
facts.
haven't had the pancakes.
Yeah, take that
I'm not a
next
pancake
step, man.
dude. I mean,
gotta
I'm
be-
really
You
not a
can
waffle
make a
dude
good-
though. But I am a chicken and waffles dude. I'm a French toast. Like, I mean, that's my.
French toast I
love
enjoy.
French
I'm
toast.
a, yeah, I mean, French
Soggy?
toast is my.
Soggy?
No, I like a
I like a sturdy French toast.
yeah,
I
like
soggy.
I like a sturdy.
yeah, I like a yeah, like I like my French toast to stand up. I like it to be hearty.
Got you. 2019, we're gonna introduce a pecan crusted French toast.
pecan crusted. So how do y'all come up with the menu?
Argue.
Yeah.
We argue.
Okay.
We go to places.
Yeah.
Him and I, and you know, he's the master palate. I might be the Jedi palate, and I might talk a lot of trash about we need to do this, this, and this, and he's gonna always say no. And then he'll leave the next day, and then I'll like, "What you doing?" He's like, "Don't ask me." I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm working on this, this, and this." I'm like, "Oh, like I said earlier, no, because I thought about it." It's like, hey, listen, man, I don't care who thought about it, whose idea it was. Let's just get it done. And then he'll be like, "Nah, it's never ready. It's never ready. It's never ready." And I'll be like,
Are you
let me taste it.
perennial, like artists, like no, it's not
Yeah,
yet.
always never.
Not
If
yet.
it was- we would never
not
open
yet.
up a restaurant if it wasn't ready.
Not yet. Not yet. Listen, just give me a little bit more. Like
I gotta sneak it to the crib, steal the recipe,
Yeah.
perform it. He's serving it, bro. He'd be like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Yo, it's good."
Deadlines.
No, it's not ready. It's not ready. I'm like, "Day,
Deadlines.
how's the chicken?" It's fucking amazing. I'm like, "Yeah, okay. Now let's go." That's how our recipes come to life.
Okay.
I have to hide the recipes from now on. Man. I can't.
So what so you do the, I guess the research.
Yeah.
Now I'm interested in how you could taste something, because I wouldn't call myself a chef of sorts at all. Like I grew up in a family where the dad had a dish. So moms did the cooking. Pops had a dish like he was good at. Like where my family dads, we do breakfast food.
Right.
So when you say you got really good pancakes, I'm super excited. You know what I mean? Like I do
Yeah.
breakfast food well, and I do meats
No
and
syrup,
stuff
no
well.
syrup.
Pause. But I can't taste something and be like, I can make that. Like and within your industry, I'm sure they're not just sharing recipe.
No.
How do you go from tasting something and be like, all right, let me recreate that, but with my twist? Because I've only tasted that.
Right. So you gotta always. That's the best thing about being in the restaurant business, man. It keeps you young, right? You gotta stay on top of the trends. You gotta listen to the millennials. You gotta listen to feedback. Collard greens, vegetarian collard greens, right there. My
Veggie
man-
greens?
Veggie greens. My man D's going in.
I didn't even know we had forks.
Oh yeah, I brought forks for you, bruh.
Shit, I've seen these. I've been looking at this. You know how long I've been waiting on this mac and cheese? You can continue to answer that question as I.
Yeah, so you go out and you try different food, man. And if you're in the game long enough, man, it's like anything. You listen to a hip hop song, you hear who's sampling it, right? You know it. You know who's sampling this. So it's the same thing when you try food. You're like, oh, I can taste the tarragon. I can taste the chili. I can taste everything in it. But maybe if they did this, this, and this, it might be a little bit better. What is it missing? It's not the sweet. It's not the sour. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, we can figure out what's not in it. It's working for them, but it might work better if we do it this way for us. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's also if it's part of your culture and you grow up eating it, like you have a strong opinion, you're going to have a strong opinion about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be wrong, but it's your mistake to make.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, at the end of the day, but you can also go out and say, hey, theirs is better.
I love
like
a good.
how do we get back to how do we make ours better than the in life? If you're better than not better than the person standing next to you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
better.
You,
You're right. You said
Yeah, no. I mean, you have
throw
to
the
humble as
finger
shit
up.
to
Fuck
be-
that dude.
No,
You better than that person.
You have
Yeah.
to have a competition of some sort. Like
Right.
like even if it's friendly, you know what I mean? Like, and that's when like I don't think there's like enough
is
friendly.
competitive, bro.
But like, yeah, I mean, you want to like that's evolution. You want to try to like, I mean, nobody wants to just be in a relationship where they're not offering anything to anybody. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the only way, like even if we're like we can be different, we could be the best that we can be, even if it's different or even if it's in the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, but like holding somebody to a standard. You know what I mean? In myself or in you, however that is, like you got to hold each other to standard in order to like reach greatness. That's nothing to like throw nobody down. Like me wanting to be better than you just means that like, oh shit, then like we should both strive. Like there's that positive energy.
But here's the key in our business, right? Our business, you can't cook for yourself because what Chris likes and what Joel likes is not. That might not be what everybody else wants to taste, right? So when you cook for yourself, you lose. I'm cooking for you. So if I don't get the proper feedback and somebody says the fried chicken is on point or this, then I'm losing. You know what I mean? If I like it, but you don't like it, and you paying, I lose.
See that, and how challenging is that to cook? Not
Extremely
specific
challenging.
to your palate. Like,
It's hard. It's tough.
Because I always thought I cook shit that I like, and I'm gonna put it out to the world and find the people who like what I like.
Yeah.
And you're saying you gotta cook for other people, so you don't necessarily know what everyone's palate is. I mean, you get feedback obviously, and I don't know.
But I think it's to answer your question, not to interrupt you at all, but that's what I do, you know what I mean? So to your point, man, it's like comedy, right? I think one of the most difficult professions in the world is comedy because you coming out there with your routine, you studied, you listened, you learned, but you don't know anybody out there and how fucked up their day was.
Right.
Or what happened in the breakup, or what happened in the job loss, or the promotion, all of the above. You got 65 people on a low level, right? Listening to you, and then you're trying to make them laugh. So you come into our restaurant, I don't know what happened. You could be on this bullshit, you could be on the best day, I don't know. So we're gonna serve you what we do, and if you don't like it, you're gonna Yelp us, and you're gonna be haters. But we're trying to do the best we can do from what we think is good, but also what we think you think is good. You know what I mean? Just like comedy, man. It's hard. It's not easy. Them doors don't open. You out of business, and you think you're the best.
Well, it's production, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like you gotta produce an entire atmosphere. Like it was crazy.
Unknown.
I came down there or whatever. Y'all had like fucking army tents up and shit. Yo, like it was crazy as hell. Like the whole yard and whatnot, and like the Halloween party y'all had and shit. Like that's like the logistics of that. Like y'all were building like a case around like the smoker and shit like that. Like
I mean, we're gonna keep it cool because we got Brooklyn in the building, right? We're gonna try to keep it as cool as possible, but we're gonna But like I told everybody all summer, they're like, "Oh my God, this place is so great. You got cornhole, you got ping pong." But listen, if our food is shitty, you're not coming back, my dude. Like you got to come back for the food.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you all of this,
Yeah.
aesthetically speaking.
Yeah.
But the food has got to be on point, man.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be
It's
on
gotta be
point.
the draw.
Gotta be.
You're
So
100.
food
You're
is sustainable,
You're 100.
So historically,
right? It's sustainable.
Yeah.
Ping pong is not sustainable.
right. You can get it anywhere. But like, so historically, though, the restaurant business is a very high risk industry. So what do you think? And I'm gonna imagine that you say it's got to be the food, but like, what do you think is most important to sustaining a restaurant? Because there are restaurants with good food that go out of business.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna let you answer first, and then I'll come right behind you, son.
So I guess the question is, how do you stay relevant?
Well,
in
how do
the
you stay
industry?
in business in the restaurant industry?
Man, you know,
Same
we kind of make that up as
Same.
we go.
It's
I mean,
different.
like we're always trying to figure out like how to stay in business. You know, you have an amazing week, and the next week you're slow, and you're like, "Fuck, what do we do? What do we do wrong?" Like, I don't know. But especially in a city as competitive as New York, where if you're successful, then someone's going to open the same concept right next door to you.
So do you?
That sucks.
So here's the thing. Do you have it figured out?
I don't
you
think
can't
I don't think anyone has it figured out. You know, I honestly I think like you just I don't even know. I mean, it's one of those things where you every single week you make a new decision based on like the week previous, and you hope that it's the right decision.
And my answer is going to be very similar to his. And it's like, you guys, do you ever have anybody doing your podcast for you? You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You gotta be there. You gotta be there. You can't trust any. That's the shitty part of this business. You can't trust anybody to do or carry out your vision. So you have to be there, right? So I would never want my son to be in this business. It's too much. You can't have the wifey. You can't have the car. You can't have the house. You can't have the vacations because you got to be there, right? And our infrastructure, in order to expand, our infrastructure got to be stronger. But you have to be there. And guess what? Like he said, Tuesday was amazing. The next Tuesday, shitty. Did we do something wrong? Now we back in the lab thinking about what we did wrong. Looking at the numbers. It never ends. So it's a. If you want to grind every day, all day, get into this business. If you ain't built for that, do something else.
How many different cheeses are in this macaroni?
I was like, yeah, I mean,
Do you taste the sharp cheddar, my dude?
Oh
That's all
my
I want to know.
God, man.
Do you taste the sharp cheddar? That's all I want to know.
this shit is ridiculous. Like I was eating it and I was enjoying the textures and I was enjoying it. And then like on the back end, that shit started to pop. Like, yeah, I mean, as it hit the back of it, like it was like, yeah, motherfucker. Like,
So is that a question you can't answer?
Yeah.
man, oh.
But we do have a Jamaican jerk mac and cheese. It's called Jamaican Me
what?
Crazy.
What?
Yes, sir.
Wait.
What is it called? Jamaican Me Crazy.
Jamaican Me Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now wait, Jamaican jerk mac and cheese.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Now here's what's crazy. I don't know what that. I have no concept of what that would taste
So
like.
it's gonna
It would
taste.
just be
outside
like
of
it would be a
amazing.
It's
spicy
gonna
ass,
taste like it's gonna taste like a meal in a cup. And for Thanksgiving we do a turkey mac and cheese, which is like chopped turkey. You got green beans, you got corn, you got carrots, you got gravy, all in the mac and cheese. It's a meal in a cup, man.
See, like I'm thinking of it, but I don't know how that's gonna play out, and I'm excited.
Okay, let me tell you. Think about this, right?
Jamaican Me Crazy.
Think
Turkey,
about
mac and cheese.
Think about when you go for
so
Thanksgiving
food's
dinner.
touching on a plate is what I'm imagining.
Thanksgiving dinner, right? Everyone's different, right? There's two types of people. The first person likes to eat everything separate. The second person likes to put everything together.
everything in that.
I'm the
motherfucker.
everything
together.
I'm the everything together.
So imagine
all
going to a
that, yeah.
Thanksgiving dinner, dumping everything in your plate and dipping, and then taking a bite. That's what our Thanksgiving mac and cheese is going to be able to taste like, and it's going to be for catering options. Info at walterspgh.com, my dudes. So that's what I'm saying. A Jamaican jerk, same thing, man. You got the jerk chicken. Takes a couple days to make. Lay it into that mac and cheese with some other couple surprises, maybe some pineapples. I'm not going to put it all out there. Maybe it's a coconut shavings. You're going to take a dip into that creamy bechamel, and it's gonna be fire.
So, are you creating these recipes, or have you seen these?
We got them. No, we got them. They're ours. They're ours. On deck. We got them on deck.
No, I'm not saying are they in. I'm saying like, is that something? Because I've never heard of Jamaican jerk. Like, is that something y'all just created off top? Like
Well,
that?
jerk chicken, right? This jerk chicken, and then
Right.
we put it into that mac and cheese with some other. Go ahead. We put it into that mac and cheese with some other different flavors.
Just jerking mac.
Yeah.
I know, but there's not a dish that I've ever heard of that. You know what I mean?
Nah, there's not a dish.
That's what I'm saying. So this is like an original concept.
Yeah.
So they're taking two things that you understand, but they're making it into one dish. That's that's dope. That's all. I
And
was
definitely
trying
not
to
on this level. When Prince passed, he had a lot of different things in the crate. We got a lot of things. That kid right there, he's got a lot of things in that crate. It's just about me breaking into that crate, man.
Oh, he's got the crate hidden in some.
Crates. He got like
dark room.
45,000 passwords, man, for one crate.
Damn. Who are we podcasting? Deal breaker's a deal breaker. Just go upstairs to the right. You good? You good? Ain't no big deal. Because we'll talk to him about. So we'll find out some stuff that he know about you that you don't know he know about you.
I know everything about that dude, man. Yeah, once again, I want to say thank you guys, man. And listen, I talked to D for a long time, man. Like, what you're doing in the community, 100%. Like, you're keeping young brothers engaged, and you're putting positive information out there for the young people. We all about, man, and him as well. He's not a person of color, but he still shares the same belief and the vision. Like, the more information and the more positivity we get out to these young minorities out here, that there's other avenues to go to besides the typical doctor, lawyer avenue. You can make money doing other things. Like, you guys are putting that out there, man. I'm honored to be here for real. Like, when I met D, I thought he was like just, lip service. He's like, yo, come through. And he texted me. I was like, oh shit, I'm coming. I'm like, I'm in. I'm 100% in. So whatever you need from me, whatever you need from us going forward, you know, like, listen, we here for you, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, like that is, but that's just like the business in general. I mean, anytime like folks talk, you know what I mean, like that's just where we're at. I mean, but like it was like I actually met you down at Hitchhiker,
Yeah.
which like.
But it was
again,
crazy.
shout out to
Gary.
Andy and Gary and down there. You know what I mean? Like,
Just did our show there. It was crazy.
yeah, like, but that's like the community or whatever. And it's that like you get to a point where like if like the network says, yeah, that's cool,
Right.
then you move with that. You know what I mean? With what the network says. You know what I mean? So like when I was introduced, I was like off top. I was like, wait, what? Like when Gary's like, yeah, no, he's going to have him on top. I was like, yeah, I need to came down. And like I said, me and wifey came through and like the whole atmosphere was like wild as hell. No, actually, I ain't gonna lie. Me and my boy Clay went down. We came down there at the
argument.
Yeah, no.
Start an argument.
No, we was down. We came down there for his birthday. And he was like, yeah, like we're just trying to do. And I'm like, let's go down to Lawrenceville.
Yeah, we went to the bar.
And we came down to, I was like, oh, they opened it up. You had to like soft open it or something like that before the grand.
Nothing soft about that one though, man. Pause.
No.
I was on my way. Let me get there.
That joint was as hard as possible. Pause.
But like I didn't get much of like the food or whatever, but like I had a couple like Hitchhiker was on deck or whatever. The atmosphere was like crazy. I was like, all right, I mean, I'm gonna come through and bring wifey down. And that was the first time, like when we came through to the grand opening, that was the first time when we came down. I came down there with her and we actually like ate and I was like, oh shit, these motherfuckers is like for real. Like they cooking like food.
That's
like,
cool, man. Like I think the biggest thing in this world, man, as an entrepreneur, to continue to grow is follow through. And when I met you, you gave me the quick one. We were talking. It was like, this is just lip service. Like I said earlier, it's like lip service. I don't even get it. And then you came through, you supported, then you supported, and then you supported again. And the follow through, man, like I know you guys are going to be successful, bro. You following through, man. Like you shoot a jump shot with you. If you don't follow through, that shit ain't going in unless you Steph Curry, right? You following through, man. You guys follow through, man. You young brothers doing really, really positive stuff out here. I listen, man. I'm listening.
I mean,
and I'm looking, man. You guys are good people,
we
man.
appreciate that. I was actually jealous
Yeah.
because we met up midweek, and he said he was heading over there, and I was just like, I can't.
Yeah, I'm a
can't
little
make
salty
it work.
with you. I ain't seen your face in the building yet, bro.
Yeah, like he told me. So I first saw him and he posted about it. I'm like, all right, should be good. And then he posted again. I'm like, okay. And then he posted it. I'm like, God damn, this
And he wore the
motherfucker. So
shirt.
then,
He had the shirt on.
Yeah,
man. Like, my
I
man,
wore
respect.
like I was like I said, like I was real like when I'm so my thing is I'm off top gonna, and that's what we do here with the podcast. So like,
Right,
I mean,
right.
because it's the same thing. Like that's the same thing with like Ed has his like, I mean, where he be at. We just happen to be in different places, you know what I mean? And we bring them together like Voltron type, you know what I mean? So like, that's how it is. At some point, we go on, connect or whatever. And that's how like we keep this going because like, if it's like, all right, I need you to holla at Ed. Like,
Right.
Ed, like, I mean, I don't bring bullshit to Ed and Ed don't bring bullshit to me. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so it's like a kind of like a vetting process type thing. So, you know what I mean? Like, and that's, and it's dope as hell to have, I forget what the fuck I was saying.
Well, I was just gonna say it's a testament to so the people you run with though, if you have a solid network, like you will take their suggestions and you take those shit seriously. So when I saw him continuously posting, I'm like, I gotta get down there. And then the funniest shit was, so we had a meeting midweek, and we don't generally meet midweek because I got like a 9 to 5 where I'm kind of restricted as far as what I can do. And we're driving up Liberty because he said he was going to y'all shit. We're driving up Liberty, and I'm driving. I see him in the rear view, and this motherfucker made that left, and that was the saddest left.
Yeah.
I was like, he just, I know where he going. He's just so happy about where he going. And I didn't get to make that left. And then, now I'm eating these ribs and this mac and cheese. I'm like, that made that even more of a sad left that I watched you make.
Yeah, we had just came through from a meeting. I was like, he's like, yeah, I'm going back to work. I was like, yeah, I got a little bit of time. I'm going to sit down there real quick. Like,
Yo, facts. Just let you guys know, man, and anyone who's listening, like we appreciate any support we get. You know what I mean? Like I've known this dude for like 15 years, and it's a black and white Paul McCartney. It's Felix and Oscar. You know what I mean? Like we're different, man.
But like just being black owned isn't gonna keep me there. You know what I mean?
Nah.
I might support you once. I might not support you twice.
I didn't
You
want to
see what
say
I'm
that.
saying?
I didn't want to say that.
So
I'm
like
just-
when I get into a building, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna at least come in and be like, all right, cool, let me see what it is or whatever. And like the thing is, I might even come through like twice, just because like maybe if you had an off night, especially like with opening, like with restaurant. I was in,
Right.
I've worked in the food restaurant industry for like 13 years. You know what I mean? So like I've done a lot of grand openings and like that, those kinks or whatever the first night and shit. Service might be off, fucking chefs might be off. There's so many different, because you're going from like a small to like a big. You know what I mean, even when like you've already got, if you're a chain restaurant, it's still a new building
taper
with
your
new
expectations.
employees and all that. You know what I mean,
Right. Taper your
so like I'm
expectations.
gonna go in one time and then I'm gonna go in again. You know what I mean, like one. I
Right.
mean, I'm gonna give you twice just to kind of see. 2 times we done here. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is that like that might get you in the door, but that's not what's gonna keep you there. You see what I'm saying? And that's what
Right.
like partnership is that like, you know what I mean, that's why like you come through with this food and it's like, holy fuck. Like that's like when I got in, I was like, let's see. And it was like, yeah, y'all need to come through and support this. I mean,
just so you know, this is what we do, right? We were coming here today. We knew since yesterday, right? You know, we checked the calendar.
I mean, we the same
My
way.
man
We just
texted me. He's
there.
like, "Yo, you coming tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm there." We there. Yo, Chris,
Text back as if you already
Chris,
knew.
right, Chris, we going to drink partners, boy. You better get your drink on, son. He's like, I gotta take a nap, nigga. Don't take no, excuse me, no N words. Don't take no nap, bro. We gotta get in. We gotta be nice up in there. We drinking, bro. But anyway, so I told my kitchen, I said, yo, at 4, we was here at 5 o'clock. I said, 4 o'clock. I said, I need not VIP, but I need that. So we're not sugarcoat nothing, right? So our test, our checks and balances is we don't say, hey, listen, this is for the drink partners show. No, this is just we're just taking this, bro. We just keeping it moving. We want the food, so there's no extra special stuff. It's what we do. You know what I mean? And if what we do is not 100, then you gotta let me know. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, I came in the other day. The fried chicken was real salty. Oh, word? Okay, so we got check and balance on that. Let's try that thing. But every day we go into operation, we taste everything, right? We taste everything going into operation. Obviously, things change every day. But I want, before I don't even know if we close in the day or not, but I want him to talk about the smoking situation, because the smoking situation is fucking
Big-ass
crazy.
smoker out there. Like,
Talk
y'all got
about
a
that
whole
smoker, dude.
ass, like,
Where, you know, he had it personally
like
built
what
for
was-
us.
Y'all were building like this whole thing out there, like in the front, and like y'all built like a case around it, like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I did a deal on the business side for a smoker. So for chefs, like the smoker is like a big thing, like, and they'll invest a lot of money into that when they're doing a restaurant. I remember when Sousa did his restaurant in East Liberty, like his big thing was the smoker, and he was like super proud of that. So you
That was
gotta,
the first place we tried.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
No, go ahead. So the smoking situation,
yeah.
yeah, the great equipment.
Very inspiring.
Yeah, so we had our smoker built by the East Texas Smoker Company out of Tyler, Texas. A guy named
Time
Clint.
out, man.
Yeah.
Stop bullshit, man.
What?
They built it. Who designed it? Ninja.
You real humble. I like him. He's super, in that humility.
No.
Oh, no, just
his
around-
ego's bigger than this building, bro.
Oh,
Don't
shit.
get it twisted.
Oh.
Talk to this lady. Don't get it twisted.
Well, somebody got to, like, when you're super humble, somebody got to get all that excess arrogance. You know what I mean? And if you're the lady
Straight
of
to his
an
lady.
extremely
Wait, so
humble person,
shout out to
you gotta
DMS.
take that arrogance.
But
My sister, love her.
doesn't that mean you're humble if the only people that get your arrogance is the people closest to you?
I agree. Like,
Someone's got to
Okay,
get it.
okay, that
I
makes
agree.
sense. That makes sense.
It's got to come off, especially because, like, again, I'm eating your food. I'm like, you gotta. I feel that is great, so you gotta feel that is great. You can't. You're not walking around saying, "Yo, my food is great. It's the best, whatever." So
But it's
somebody's
not,
hearing that.
I never think it's great. Never.
Okay, and that's why it's
Never.
great.
It always needs work. Everything always needs work.
Side note, he's got some great sayings. One being, you don't know shit about shit.
You don't know shit about shit. That sounds like a person who might be a little bit arrogant. Like, cause that phrase is cool to him, but if you say that to your lady, like, you got to be real judicious in how you say you don't know shit about shit to your lady.
I say,
He
babe.
has dropped that on.
Well, before I say,
on-
babe, you don't know
Oh,
shit
you
about
throw
shit.
babe? Do you throw the babe with the B, or is it just babe? Babe.
No, he don't. Come on, he don't know. I don't even know what Bay is,
You don't
bro.
know shit about shit? No, that's fighting words. Like, if you say you don't know shit about shit, like that's like you don't just say that. Like
He's got 4 other things I never heard before. This kid. He's got 4 others I never heard before. Anyway,
You don't know
answer
shit-
your question.
I'm sorry, I came into the.
Well, seal breaker's a deal breaker.
Not well. You know, I guess the first thing I learned about smoking in Pittsburgh or in this region is that there's a reason why it's not part of the culture. It's because who can smoke at like 10 degrees?
That's true.
Like the amount of wood we go through and how cold it is outside. You're stuck outside watching the
How
flame.
much would we go through, Holmes?
Oh,
Pause.
I mean, sometimes $1,000 a week in wood.
Oh shit!
Like
Pause.
it's an insane
Just
amount of
another
wood.
word that I have to pause.
And so
No
you're
matter how-
literally like sitting in front of a smoke box, in front of a fire, watching the color of the fire,
Smoke box pause.
watching the color of the smoke, watching. It's like 29 degrees. It's 30 degrees outside. You're freezing, falling asleep because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're watching this fire
Just
for
die.
hours and hours and hours and hours. And every like 3 or 4 minutes, you put a log on it.
Yeah.
It's really like a death sentence.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
That's where you
There
send
you go.
the non-employee of the month, the person that's been fucking up all month. You gotta watch the smoke.
No,
No, you can't do
no.
that. Can't
It's your
do
best
that.
employee. It's your
your
best
best-
employee.
Oh,
It's a,
the
it's a
bird
kid
not
we
being
brought from
great.
New York. We want him and Chris and Mr. Garcia. Both are our pit masters overnight. Garcia does 5, Chris does 2. That's
Tell
how
you
we
what,
get down.
we call
Best
Gar-
of the
respect
best.
to
I tell you what, Garcia does 5 16-hour days. We call him Don Chingon because
Don,
his
yo, I told you had the ribs earlier. I said the Don Chingon's ribs, boom. That's how it goes.
Don Ching
Don Chingon.
Yeah.
In Mexico, numero uno, my friend.
Don Chingon
Yeah.
just sounds like a dude with good product.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
just leave it
We're
at
not
that.
pushing product.
Don
We're
Chingon
not pushing
always
product,
got
baby.
good product.
El Porco.
This is not a side
El
business,
Pollo
my
Loco?
dude.
El Porco Loco. El Porco Loco out this.
Chapo is down in Brooklyn, son. He's down in Brooklyn.
I tell you what, man. I've had a lot of jobs. Smoking is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my
Oh,
life.
listen, man. I have been trying to motherfucking figure this shit out for like about maybe 10 years now. And I feel like I'm just kind of maybe like graduating like my freshman year. Like this shit is.
So
don't graduate.
and what makes it more difficult is if you're
Exactly. Yo, if that was a plug, Chris will never teach you, son. Just like you know, off
never,
the break.
never. Yeah, never happened. Get out of the smoker. Yeah, but if you're smoking 2 meal periods, you're on lunch and dinner, and things
Yo,
have
son,
to come off
Paul,
rotation.
relax. Explain that, B. Explain that you never explained the 2 meal periods. Why we don't do sliced brisket for lunch? Explain it, bro.
You don't do sliced brisket for lunch?
Nah, explain the
Because
process, man.
you're making it?
No, I mean, well, if you serve brisket
Chris,
for
the step 1, explain the process. Don't jump in. Explain the
All right,
process,
so
Holmes.
brisket, you're smoking minimum 12 hours, minimum, right?
No, brisket,
so
you're smoking minimum.
yes, I'm
Not
smoking
everybody
minimum.
smokes it for 12.
Okay, so
what we do, what we're
Yeah.
doing.
if you want the fat to turn into like sugar, if you want it to become sweet and caramelized and all and have all these
You
flavors
can
that you
only
really want,
offer it once a day.
yeah,
at
once
max.
a day. So you
Fat rendering. Don't skip steps, Holmes.
Yeah, you're getting there at 2:00 in the morning, 1:00 in the morning to get it out the next day at 4, right? So you want it for lunch that day, whether it be 1 or 2 briskets. It's a lunch period. You know what I mean?
You get there
You're
at 10
getting-
p.m.
No, you're getting there. You're getting 8 o'clock the day before.
But explain why, though, Holmes. You got to do what? You got to trim it. Like no one knows it. Everyone thinks you just get it. You buy a brisket from Montana, you put it on the smoker, and that's a done
Buy a
deal.
brisket
So-
from
so-
Montana.
Yeah, it's Montana, Holmes.
So you're coming through. You're bringing
Montana.
in
Montana,
Montana,
Holmes.
brisket.
Yeah.
So I mean, one of the more
Why Montana? Is Montana?
I
known
just hear
for-
these horns
They massage
from
the cows, Holmes. Pause.
Wait, what? Whoa! Hold up!
Chris, can you
I
explain
hear
the
the
Hold
process?
up!
horns from shot
I
caller.
can,
Wait,
I
wait.
can do it.
No,
I
wait,
can do it for the
wait.
listeners, Chris.
No.
But you got a clearer voice than I do right now. son.
Stop. Honestly, yo,
So
wait.
you got potential.
Can this podcast go 24 hours? Can we just keep it going?
They
We can go
They
a whole
massage
brisket,
the cows.
We need 24 more beers.
I need to.
I brought 24 ribs. Where are my 24
I'm
beers?
happy Montana
listen,
got
listen,
mentioned because I forgot it was
Because
a state.
we still got this coffee app here. We got a coffee porter. You got the.
we
Is
are
this the
we are
first time
rocking-
Montana's ever been mentioned on the podcast?
I think you know
we
this
are regular-
porter.
we are
Montana.
rocking the drink partners coffee stout at Walters all day, every day. We will always do that all day,
You
every
want
day.
to be
that's
with a
that
baller,
right there.
shot caller.
We're gonna show love all day, every day
But-
for the drink partners, man.
No.
No, it's all love. Like this spread here has been crazy. This podcast has been crazy. We got to figure out how Montana got mentioned on the podcast.
Yeah.
This is the first time ever.
Can you just get them to explain the process, man?
Do
without
they
skipping
massage
steps?
the cows? Like
Yes.
this is important to
Pause.
my life.
I mean, we massage we massage.
Hey, you.
I don't know what they do. Nah, but I mean the process, man. It really is. It's
Explain it, Holmes,
I mean, okay. Here's the thing.
from start to finish.
You get if
Purchase a cow.
if you have to get there at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no. Find the vendor, right? It's a process, dude. Explain the process, man.
But finding the vendor, okay, that's done like way early.
No.
Say the
False.
process-
You're hurting our. You don't disrespect the brand. So we're talking about 15, 20 vendors we're going through to smoke their brisket because certain. Come on, man. I'm not even from Texas.
He wants
you're doing
all
a good
the
job, man.
information.
You're doing a good
And Day and I are sitting here.
They don't know how hard it is, man.
Day and I got the same faces of those middle-aged black women that you got the chicken.
Let me tell you.
Explain the
thumbs up
process,
from.
man.
We need to know.
If certain, if certain,
I've never thought so much about brisket. I'm like, okay, so this brisket
that's
shit,
what I'm saying.
I
Like,
need
come
to
on, man, explain the
appreciate it.
Hell
process.
yeah, I want to. Yeah, I mean, because like
certain
this is
farms,
good.
certain farms can't keep up with our volume, right? Certain farms don't do
And
it
that's
organically.
important. Yeah, I mean.
So start
Well,
from
okay,
the
so
day one.
we can't buy local because
Thank you.
there are 2 briskets per cow.
Thank
right?
you. That's
So,
There's
educate.
only 2 briskets per cow.
Educate,
that's
my dude,
that's shit
educate.
that I don't know. That's like, yeah.
So-
It sounds stupid.
Yo, he's KRS
but
One of
I'm-
briskets, my dude.
Like you got to talk
Educate.
to talk to us like we're stupid because we are. Because
I am. I don't even
we
know what
have been
brisket is.
drinking
It's just good.
a lot.
Okay, so
two briskets per cow.
if you call a local farmer and you say, "Hey, I need 120 briskets a week," that's 50 cows a week they're slaughtering. Most small farms do not.
Nah, they
they
ain't
don't.
got
They don't
that.
do that.
Nah.
So you really have to go to Colorado. You have to go to Utah. You have to go to Montana. You have to go
Montana. You gotta say it like that. Like
to
French.
Montana. you have to go to places
BX in the building.
One farmer once told me, is like, we're not cattle farmers, we're grass farmers. You have to have an enormous amount of grass to feed the number of cows you would have to go through the breeding process. They have to have 2,000 cows probably to even support a restaurant that does. We're a small restaurant to support.
Okay, so what type of
we
cow?
do.
What type of cow are we looking for?
Black Angus. We use Black Angus. We stick with a brand that actually genetically tests their animals to make sure there are 21 breeds of Black Angus that the USD recognizes. And the company we go through genetically tests, so they basically will have the same spec every single time for that animal.
And what spec is that?
Well, I mean, that's probably a secret.
That's the secret, right?
Oh, that's the information that you don't even have.
That's the
Oh shit, that's above. That's above Chris.
like a geek.
That's high level
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
That's dope as shit. I mean, like, because I mean, we we love that geek shit. Like, so feel free to like get as geek as fuck because like these are things that like
As geek as fuck.
yeah to get as
First
geek as
time
fuck.
that phrase is.
Yeah, I mean, like, cause like that, those
As geek
details,
as
those shit that people like we as artists and businessmen and producers or whatever, there's so much behind the scenes. Everybody just sees the presentation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just see the curtain. They see the fucking big floating head. Like, we're talking to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Right, just
saying?
as a
Like,
consumer, even not just as a business person, artist, whatever, just as a consumer, we don't think about all the shit that goes into why this brisket is dope.
yeah,
why
like,
this
even,
shit
or
is good
even
as
what
fuck.
two like yeah, I mean, well, I guess there's two
Right.
briskets or whatever, but like you said, like the USDA and all this, whatever. I'm like, shut the fuck. Like,
21 breeds of black
21
Angus
breeds. That's what I'm
cattle.
saying.
you gotta.
man. You gotta let them
Well,
know.
the most difficult part is when you're trying to
going,
source
Forrest.
when you're trying to source the food and you call local farmers and they say no. The minute you say you're doing 70 to 120 briskets a week, they say nah.
Logistics.
You got to call someone else. No one's doing that, especially not local.
Yeah.
Like if you're on the East Coast in New York, Hudson Valley, they couldn't do it. They can't do it here.
Middle America.
I mean, you have to have a gigantic farm to do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
In Montana.
Keep
ain't
going,
nothing but
Holmes.
farmland.
That's process number one. Keep going. It's
So-
multiple
So
processes.
who's
This is to
massaging
get the
motherfucking
That's just to
car?
get the brisket.
This is to
cow.
get the
Joel's-
meat part.
That's just to get the cow, son.
All right, so now you've obtained the brisket.
Yeah.
What's
Where do
next,
we go
Holmes?
from here?
So once you have the brisket, I don't
He
know.
like,
man.
it's hurting him. He like, I don't want to tell people this.
No. You know what?
That's my guy.
12?
You know, I'll be
He's
happy to.
uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable right now.
I'll be happy to tell you how awful it is to
I
wake
should have
up
told you we need tequila.
2 hours early to start a fire just so the smoker reaches temperature, so you can put this food on without having your coal bed die. I mean, it's a
Explain it, Holmes.
on the
Explain
days
it.
on the days
Yo,
you
Chris. All right, you told him about the brisket. Now you walk in. We've purchased our brisket, right? Myers Farm, Montana. Number
Montana.
one. We got
Myers
it.
Farm. Nice.
Montana.
Is that like family owned?
Yep.
Nice.
Montana.
So we got the brisket. What happens next? Trim, son.
Yeah,
Talk about the
So
trim
now you
process.
gotta take it. You gotta take it
All right,
down.
so for your average night, it takes about 4 hours to trim all the meat. Like not
4
just brisket,
hours?
not brisket. It's about 4 hours to do the brisket, the ribs, the
Chicken.
pork butts, the chickens, everything. It takes about 4 hours worth of work to get ready for the day before. I mean, the day after.
Tell them why you trimming the brisket.
And what do you do
Without giving a secret away.
What do you
give it
do?
too much information.
We can't give you that. We can't give you that.
We
We
don't-
can't give you that.
We
We
don't.
can't
We
give
don't.
you that.
We don't trim anything. We don't. We buy.
Hey,
put it on the-
yay.
Straight raw.
Hey,
Trim it.
I love this little.
There's no
like,
rub. We don't have a rub. We use salt,
Straight
pepper.
No. We got to
He's
talk
like,
about the rub.
He's like, keep going, Chris. Keep going, Chris. And I'm
Slow.
like, yeah, keep going. He's like, no, don't keep going to what he's talking.
trim the brisket, then drop the brisket in the smoker, and tell them about babying the brisket, man. What separates us, man?
I think why you see a resurgence of, well, not a resurgence, but you see like so many barbecue restaurants opening now is because people have come out with new smokers that you can actually smoke indoors that are UL listed, that you can actually open and shut the door when it's cooked, right? You have these you have the gas assist, you have the electrical assist, but you know, unless you're going into like, you know, barbecue country in Texas or Kentucky or Oklahoma and all these locations where people are smoking on real offset smokers.
Tell them what an offset is, Holmes. They don't know, man.
I'm losing my train of thought here.
It's 101. Tell them what an offset is, Holmes.
So, you know, it's your traditional, it's basically like an offset smoker is like your traditional, you know, backyard smoker where you have a firebox on one side and you have flue on the other, and, you know, convection pulls the heat and the smoke from one side to the other. And,
That's that authentic.
you know, yeah, it's authentic, man. But what's happened now is people are smoking in like, you know, commercial kitchens with commercial pits that are UL listed that you can actually, you know, not really monitor the heat or the smoke. You open and shut the door, you set the timer, you set the temperature, and you're good. We try to take it back to like, you know, the beginning. You know, your traditional, you know, all, you know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, so with that though, you're adding more of a X factor, right? I mean, because like having that just put it in there. You know, same thing with propane. I mean, and there's a flavor that comes. There's high risk, high reward. I mean, like with that, like I hate propane. It's
V
trash. No, just propane, just whatever the fuck it.
Yeah,
Like,
what he just
having
said,
that.
he just said propane. V wood.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Wait,
That's like East Coast and West Coast hip hop right there.
You're cutting out steps.
Cutting out, you skipping steps.
So
my
y'all don't
dude.
use propane.
No,
Straight wood with it.
No, that's what I'm.
That's
That's what
straight
I'm.
raw. They make the ribs you can rub across your gums.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you have that like that taste difference, but with that comes the
integrity.
work. You have to. You know what I mean?
Integrity.
Like you
Anything
can
with
do that.
integrity
So like
requires
how in this industry, given like that, are you able to consistently have it like again and again and again with?
Are you talking about combating against the
Because when you
economics
like
of
listen,
cutting
like I'm
quarters?
like I've smoked. I have like a barrel, sideways barrel or whatever. You know what I mean? Like get a little stack or whatever in the side, and like I had it on the porch, and it's crazy how much like a little char grill, nothing crazy or anything. You know what I mean, like but a little charcoal in there or whatever. But like it was crazy how like on the porch the way the wind hit it, like would affect how like the smoke and like and the variables and like how whatever. And it was and I didn't get it until like because I had it and it kept just going out quick as shit. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like doing all this or whatever, and adjusting it, it's not working. But then like I was at my boy's crib and he had the same dip, but he had it like facing sideways to the wind, and when it came in, it had more of a roundabout like inflation. And I was like, oh, that's what it is, and I didn't realize that. So like, I guess like, how do you? But even then, again, like with the variables in weather in Pittsburgh and like all that, you're talking about like cooking this shit in the wintertime. Like, how do you like minimize that?
Well, so this is a big eye opener for me, honestly. Like, you don't question certain things if you don't grow up with it, right? But it was never part of smoking meat. Smoked barbecue is not part of Pittsburgh or Midwestern culture for a good reason. You can't smoke. The average person's not smoking meat at 10 degrees or 5 degrees because you're outside doing it. You know what I mean? There's a reason why things are done in certain regions. You know what I mean? If you want to cure meat in Texas and you're a cowboy and it's 200 years ago, the easiest thing to do is throw a log on a fire because it's you even in the winter it's not all that cold, but I don't know. So now I'm in Pittsburgh and it's 30 degrees and we're going through all this wood and you're outdoors. You can't get in. If it's snowing, you're still outside. Like we have a restaurant that depends on the meat we have to smoke and we're not indoors. So, I mean, there's all these difficulties that we deal with on a daily basis trying to figure out like, how to turn that meat into candy, basically, right? That's what the goal is to turn the fat into candy and create meat candy.
Like meat candy, man. Those fucking pork bellies, man, like is like candy. Like that shit is like they were like the thin sliced, just like that was man. Like, where do y'all get those pigs from?
It's from Montana.
I'll tell you, it's the process, man. It's the process.
Yeah,
and the process, like it. I mean, there's so many like
it's butter. They were butter. Yeah. Like they just like the pork bellies. Like so, pork belly, like when it's cured or whatever, like it's bacon. But like this is like, how is pork belly different from bacon?
I mean, pork belly is essentially the same cut of meat.
Yeah.
But, bacon obviously is commercial and it's cured and cut into slices or whatever. But, we take the same cut, the belly of the pig, and smoke it slow and low with our own, blend of spices. And it all comes down to the process. Really, it all comes down to the process. I mean, the rub's important. It's all important. But really, it's the smoke. It's the temperature. It's maintaining a certain temperature for an extremely long period of time.
That's because like keeping the same temperature at like 250, 275, like 300, whatever, like in that range, and keeping it consistent over like like fire is a live thing. You know what I mean? Like it's life. That's what we're doing. It's like we're burning life. That is those coals. Those were like living things. It's energy.
Yeah.
And like that's the fire is a living thing. And to keep that thing alive and control it at a temperature. Like I said, propane is just like boop, and like it's an oven. It's a stove. Right. Like I mean, but you don't get the same flavor and reward because it's not the same work and effort.
It's like so where I grew up, like you might go to one of 20 restaurants. Let's say Snow's, Franklin's, Black's, Smitty's, Kreitz, Cooper's. Like there's all these amazing barbecue restaurants. They all smoke 1 meal period. They're only doing 1 meal period. So when you
1 meal period,
so they're open for lunch or either lunch or dinner.
Oh, yeah. So,
that's
there's just one. Oh, okay. They're only once a day. Yeah.
And that's why it's difficult because when you go from, let's say in Pittsburgh, we're at 2 a.m. in the fall, it's like 39 degrees and then this temperature ekes up to 50 and it changes constantly throughout the entire day. You're adjusting the fire. You're not adjusting for 1 meal period and trying to figure out like how to be consistent in 1 meal period. Yeah. You're smoking completely different. You might smoke like you would in certain regions of the country for lunch, but in dinner you're shifting to like how you would do it in Texas.
Yeah.
You're like it's a mind fuck. It's so
you
hard.
You gotta really like. So how how important is your weather app on your phone to you?
I mean, it
skies.
doesn't.
Like, yeah, I mean,
no.
are you checking like radars and shit,
No.
seeing if there's a
Not
storm
at all.
coming through or anything?
That's
Like,
you're hyper aware of the fact that no one knows what's going on.
so it doesn't even matter.
doesn't
what
even
they
matter.
think. But you can check like weather,
No, 'cause
like
you,
where
no,
the
you don't have time. You adjust accordingly, like as
the
it
moment.
changes, because the
the
fire
moment.
the fire adjusts accordingly,
Right.
And the smoke adjusts
so
accordingly.
you don't
constantly-
have-
he's
yeah.
consistently in the
So you're
moment.
just taste.
The
Yes.
fire dictates what you're doing.
You respond to what it does.
Oh, so you're
That's why
just
you check it on it every
like,
few
you're
hours.
you're not saying fire. Guess what's going to happen? This is what it do.
Yeah.
The fire tells
He's
you.
in the moment
Look,
at all
motherfucker.
times.
Life.
Yeah.
This is this is what I need, bro. And
Yeah.
you're like, all right, I got
So-
you.
You're not saying like it's 225 today, then it's 265, then it's 270. You have to respond and
Whatever
know
There's no
exactly.
it is.
real
Yeah,
pre-plan.
fuck whatever. Yeah.
The smoke
real
changes, the
pre-plan.
temperature
It's always
changes.
on the go.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say, I mean, for me, just listening to this, the takeaway that I have from this, again, in tasting the food, hearing of the ambiance, things like that, it's integrity. It's like, it's really about putting the product first. And you have, incorporated the atmosphere into the product. And a lot of places, again, that serve good food, they don't have the atmosphere because they don't see that atmosphere as part of the product. So I want to commend you on, having that integrity. I mean, even having this conversation, just listening to Chris. Chris, one, doesn't want to give up his secrets, and we forced a lot out of him that he didn't want to tell. But in every response, it's always harping back to you making it the right way. Like, I got to do this the right way. It's not about mass production. It's not about I got to get this volume out. It's how do we support this volume with the same level of integrity with every dish, every piece of food. So if you're in Pittsburgh and you're looking for a great place to eat, you need to get down to Walters in Lawrenceville. You need to do it like ASAPtually. All right. You need to change your life. You guys are breaking up a lot of marriages because it's hard to eat this, then go home and eat her shit. Like, it's
Not
hard.
touching that with a 10-foot pole.
That's all right. You ain't got you ain't that's a whole nother conversation when you get a restaurant like that in there.
I mean, well, so listen, I'm gonna eat some of hers.
Well, you gotta eat some of her shit. You ain't gonna be at Walters every day,
I'm
but-
gonna eat some of hers.
does she have the
I'm
same
just saying.
integrity on her dish?
Shit.
Are you putting your best foot forward, babe?
Listen, I put a ring on that dish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I'm gonna eat some of that. But that's a.
Oh no, that's a whole look. That's a thing. Every great cook ain't a great
I'm
cook
gonna go.
every day.
I eats at home. I don't give a fuck what
No,
y'all
no, you
niggas
eat
is
at
cooking
home.
in y'all kitchens and shit like that.
You ate at home, but
Always
you
might not be
damn-
food.
It might not be food, but I'm gonna go home and eat.
Every great cook ain't a great cook every day.
Me,
All right?
Tommy,
And they
and
know
I'm
that.
eating at home too, brother.
Is that I mean? Like, yeah, you
Every
probably
great
get
cook.
me.
I ain't fucking with Chris
I can
every
say-
day.
I
I'm
said-
eating at home.
Yeah, your
Always.
life, look,
I ain't
you,
about
a lot of pressure. So
I'm always there.
So let the people know again. I know we approached it earlier, but we kind of got caught up in the food and the conversation. So let the people know where they can find you all, how they can get in contact, if they have any reviews, any critiques, anything that can assist you all. How do they get in touch with you?
First and foremost, fuck Yelp. I'll say it again. FUCK Yelp.
Fuck Trump
The-
too. While we getting our fucks out. I ain't
that's
saying that.
always out there.
Unprofessional,
That's always
professional
fuck
opinion.
Trump.
Don't Yelp me and then Yelp Walgreens or Rite Aid. Fuck you. Okay, number one. Number two, on the lighter side, you can find us at 4501 Butler Street in Lawrenceville. We're Walters Barbecue / Southern Kitchen. The only reason we say that, man, just let you guys know, we don't want to be typecast just doing barbecue. Most barbecue places in Texas have 12 items. We have 40-something items on our menu. We have vegetarian options on our menu. We have
You
vegan.
gotta-
We have a vegan option on our menu.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just hitting you with just straight proteins, man. We're giving you a lot of creativity, and our brunch is badass.
Yeah.
Come check us out, man. 4501 Butler Street, Walters Barbecue.
And the
Southern
beer
Kitchen.
and the beer selection is dope. Like your local.
Oh, you get the DPCP.
We're
on
keeping
there.
it. Oh,
Hey, dude,
shit! I
man.
almost forgot. If you're in the mood, and I gotta invite you guys both out this weekend. If you're in the mood for glamping, our tent is fire. We got
So
TVs.
you gotta,
We got a
yeah.
bar. We can hold
So-
75
so
people.
Just like
It's heated.
just like you were saying with Chris. What's glamping? You can't just like skim over that. What's a glamping?
So in Texas, they camp. In Brooklyn, we glamp. Is that
Is that like
It's like camping on concrete.
Is that a glow up camp?
Yo,
Like
so
I don't.
so for me,
It's
right?
camping
I'm
on
embarrassed.
concrete.
I'm embarrassed.
Is
So
that like
be a part
glam?
of this.
Like is that or that?
Yo,
is-
I don't even want to be a part
So
of it.
yeah.
Yo, so Chris,
Wait, what's
me and Chris, we go back like car seats, and he's sitting here talking to me about like, yo, listen, man, I go camping with my family, like, what, like mosquitoes and all that. He's like, yo, mosquitoes is camping. We got bear. I'm like, bears? Like, yeah. I was like, nah, fuck that shit. So I'm like, listen, we can camp, but we need amenities, my dude. So we got
Oh,
this-
like glamour camp.
Glamour
Yeah,
camp, man.
Yeah, glam.
what?
Like-
But what are
It's like
amenities,
that
man?
episodes of
Amenities
Bob's
are
Burgers.
I got TVs, I got the bar, I got a couch.
Electricity.
Yeah, we got 100. That's number one.
So
We got heat.
So they got so here's the thing, right? In Pittsburgh, you don't have a lot of like patio space in general, right? But then you're talking about when the winter comes in, you ain't got no grass, no kind of outdoor experience in any way, shape, or form. You're just like straight inside, like whatever. And like what like your space offers is that ability to like not feel like cramped up or whatever. Like you can get out and have a good evening, like you know what I mean, and be outside, but not be like exposed to the elements. It's a nice,
DJs in here, but parties over there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We got grass. May not be real, like some.
That is all we need in the motherfucker.
Nice.
If you talking about seasonal depression, shit like that, like if you're talking about just like getting some air,
You want to see green?
yeah, you want to see some green, you want to just be like out and like have a like, I mean, you outside, bro, like you tenting. It's like you said, it's
we
glam
got-
business
we got
camp.
green, we
but
got
we ain't about
Jenga.
to die. Like
Jenga.
We got Jenga and we got
That's important.
what's the
Connect 4.
Connect 4.
Go
Yeah.
for the
Darts.
bottom.
Game night
Go
session.
for the
We got
top.
darts. We got darts.
Oh, and
Yeah.
darts, glamping.
And Game of Thrones. We got Game of Thrones.
Oh, we got the Game of Thrones banners.
are y'all gonna
And
have?
I personally
House Stark,
am
House Stark.
of Lannister.
Are
I'm
you-
Lannister.
Wait, y'all got the
Losers.
banners and
Banners.
okay, I gotta come see this. Y'all,
I'm
okay,
Lannister,
hold on,
son.
'cause we gotta.
Losers.
He's
man.
Stark. I'm Lannister. We're partners for life. But I'm
Okay, so
Lannister.
okay, so here's my
Wait,
thing. Here's hold on. Which Lannister?
the most gangster, Cersei.
Nah, fuck
Cersei
that.
is the most gangster
Tyrion-
bitch I've ever
gangster.
seen.
I love Tyrion.
Tyrion Lannister. You're
love
damn, yeah,
Tyrion.
you're damn straight. That's the only
You
reason.
love a Lannister?
I love Tyrion.
Tyrion
man.
Lannister.
Cersei is the
Tyrion
gangstest
Lannister.
motherfucker
No.
Yo,
I've
Ride
ever
or
seen.
Die was named after Cersei.
Tyrion Lannister is the best fucking like,
Yeah,
character
Tyrion-
on Game
Yeah.
of
He ain't
Thrones,
ride or
hands
die.
down.
He's not the
Hands
most
down.
gangster.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
mean
are you kidding me?
You asked me a question.
That
Who's the most
motherfucker
gangster?
is playing the Games of Thrones at half speed,
He-
nigga.
he-
like
that
literally,
doesn't make you gangster.
he's
I
at
agree.
Playing
me,
it don't
that
make you
does.
gangster.
I agree.
He
I
might
agree.
be the most thoughtful.
all I'm hearing right-
Cersei got
Okay, time-
one goal.
time out, time out.
Cersei's family.
Cersei's
killing
Cersei's a pretty blonde woman. This motherfucker's an
You-
ugly
Shame.
troll.
Cersei
And
would
he
kill
is-
him.
Shame.
He is
Shame.
running
Kill
shit,
him.
bruh.
Nah, I
Shame.
agree. I
would
agree.
kill
Shame.
you.
No.
Shame.
We gotta do this
Shame.
off
No.
the record.
Shame.
We
No
gonna
Lannister.
let them know where they
Shame
can
down.
find us. Let the people
Hands
know where they
down.
can find
Shame.
us.
Oh,
They
you
let the
could-
people know where they can find us. We're gonna
if
finish
you're
this
looking for
argument
us, you can
because I
find
need a
us
gangster
at
bitch.
epicastnetwork.com.
I want a gangster woman.
Slash
I want my
yeah.
I want a
Partners Pod.
gangster boogie
No,
with
you know
my
what?
gangster bitch.
You're
That was
looking
about
for us.
Cersei
You can
Lannister.
find
No
Tupac
way.
rapped
No way.
about her
At iTunes.
previously.
I agree.
Fit your lips
I-
at Google Play and Spotify.
No, we gonna finish
Nah,
this.
no,
Under
I-
Drinking Partners.
It done got lit at
You
the
can find
end.
us at IG, Twitter, and
You
Facebook.
listening already. You know where the fuck to find
At
us. Look,
Partners Pod.
we want to thank y'all for bringing this food, this conversation. Thank you for coming to this city, man. The city has really been hungry for it, and that's a pun, I know, but seriously, really been looking for some shit like this, man. When you can merge food with ambiance, you know, I'm happy. And look, I know New York is taking pride in the fact that New York brought it to the burg, but you know what? We'll respect that, man. As always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family, and we out here.
I drink, and I know things.
No.
He's calculating.
She just killed me. She just killed me. She kills everybody.
Get over there. She goes hard.
I am taking the one.
She does.